Today, I want to talk about a topic that not a lot of people like to talk about: death. We often see death as something to shy away from and not talk about with our friends or our family. And there's good reason for that. It's scary, it's the end of someone's life. But to me, it's also the beginning of something new. And the topic of death is really important, especially in whitewater kayaking, because so many people fear death and it stops them from trying new things on the river. And I think if we all learned to not really fear death and just accept every day as it is and live day by day without worrying about it, we'd push ourselves more and reach our potentials a lot faster. But at least in the Western world, we don't like to talk about it. We fear it. Whereas other places, they embrace it and they celebrate it. And at least in whitewater kayaking in the whitewater world, death is not very common, and that's awesome. It shows that this is a very safe sport. If you look at American whitewater and their accident reports and go all the way back to when they first started reporting to what it shows now, there's a little less than 500 reported deaths on whitewater. That shows how safe this sport is. There are millions of people who are on whitewater every year, and in the last 60 to 80 years, only 500 people have drowned. Obviously, that would be awesome if it was zero, but 500 people out of millions of people that use the river every year, that's pretty amazing. Only a small percentage of whitewater adventures end in death, and that it's a very safe sport for people to engage in, so there's really nothing to fear. Obviously, that rate would go up if people started doing things that are above their skill level because they completely are void of that fear. It's good to have a little fear, a little nervousness, because that keeps us safe. It's an instinct that we're born with to keep us safe and alive and living till the end of our days. And I think for me, in the past month or so, I've been slacking a little bit on content. So the more that I'm doing nothing, the more that I actually lay there in bed at night thinking about death and I ask myself questions like, if I died today, would people actually care? Would I feel like I've done enough? Questions like that. But when I'm actually out there creating, doing things, being productive, I don't really think about it that much. I'm too distracted by getting stuff done, reaching my goals. So I think one of the best ways to not really think about death and not be scared of it is by just creating, getting out there, making content, doing whatever you need to do, and doing what you love really takes away from the thoughts about it. You're not out there thinking about it. So let's learn to talk more about death and not really fear it, embrace it. It's part of life, so let's live every day, day by day, not worrying about it. It's going to come, it happens, it's inevitable. There's no need to fear it. Let's embrace it. Let's get out, push ourselves, because most of these rivers are extremely safe. If you're on class 1, 2, 3, even 4, the chance of anything bad happening is very low, but it is still there, and it's important to be aware of those risks because they are there. So we don't want to ignore them completely, but we also want to be like, hey, let's go have fun. Let's push ourselves a little bit, not too much. Let's be on the safe side because we don't want to put others at risk as well. But we're going to go have fun and not really worry about it. So guys, I hope this was a constructive conversation about a topic people don't like to talk about: death, because it is important to talk about. It happens. It's inevitable. We can't avoid it. So learn to embrace it. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, you have any other topic ideas that you'd like to hear more about, just drop them in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video so more people can see it and we can get the word out and help educate people about whitewater kayaking and the outdoors.